Hey guys, welcome back. This is Vignesh over here. So in the first two tutorials of Git Guardian series, what we are seeing, we have successfully installed this GG Shield, pre-commit and other steps. We are also seeing how to create this token file and how to inject this secret or token file into a Git repository, right? So now we are going to see how to use a tool called Git Filter Repo to remove those secrets and tokens from the Git repository. And it will not only remove those secrets from the repository, we were going to also rewrite those histories back into the Git repository, right? So we'll just get start with this one. So the Git Filter Repo tool is a tool that we use to rewrite our Git history. And we can also use this tool to remove a file or folder from every commit that it was involved in, right? So these are all some of the steps that I have written. So the first step deals with how to install, followed by the actions to be followed across your team, followed by how to clone the fresh repository and why it is needed, and all those stuffs coming forward, right? So let's get started with the first step, how to install Git Filter Repo using pip. Okay, so the prerequisite says that we need to install either Python 3 or Python latest version and add it to the pathway. So in the last tutorial, we have already seen that we install this Python and add it to the path by its own. So now what we are going to do, we are going to open the command prompt as it said here, command prompt. All right, and then we are going to run this command from the pip, right? So we are going to install this Git Filter Repo. Let me paste over here, let me put enter. So it is pinging those requests from the internet. As you can see here, it is successfully installed this package already. So once we done with this step, these are the action steps that need to be performed before you start cleaning the secret. So first you have to ask your team members to stash their working items separately. Though the reason why we need to do this thing is, let's suppose like this commit called ABC, which has a secret which was there from a very long time, let's say 2 years, and we have all the people used the same class file, and they have written their code all by themselves, one by one, over the period of time, right? So if you see the particular file history, you may have more than n number of commits in the particular file, right? So all of the commits, this particular cleaning would have impact. So that's the reason, if suppose you have any working changes in the particular file, we need to ask the team members to stash their items separately out of the Git repository, right? And then once we did the first item, and we have to ask the team members, so until this cleaning activity gets completed, we should ask the team members not to push, not to commit any code into the Git repository, right? So because it will also impact, if suppose like we have already cleaned up everything, and they may not be aware of this thing, and if they are trying to push the new changes, the new change will also contains the history of the previous commits, right? So this will also impact, and this will also inserts the token again into the Git repository. So we don't want to take that risk. And then once we complete these two steps, we should need to create a new clone instead of using the old clone. The reason is, since in the old clone we might be having some new we might be having some older histories, and we might be having some of the working files, right? It could be either hidden files, or it could be either staged files, and there could be a number of circumstances, right? So in order to do this activity, it is better and it is encouraged to have a fresh clone. So as you can see in the next step, we were only talking about that thing. In order to clone the fresh repository, what you have to do, you have to create the new folder, and by any chance we don't have to create the folder inside the particular workspace. We can use some other workspace, like we have to create a new folder, and we have to clone the respective folder. And then the one thing that we, why we are stressing out to create a new fresh clone is, right, some people they may not have pulled every branches, or they may not have pulled every commits from the remote. They might have checked out only one branch, so we may not be having the complete information about the Git repository, right? So it is also advised we need to clone our repository. That's the first step. And then once you clone the repository, we need to pull the information, everything out of there, right? So that is the next important step over here. So we need to navigate to the folder and we need to execute the pull command. So the pull command not only pulls the entire files, it will also pull each and every branch information and tax information as well. So over here, right? So once you did all this activity, the next obvious step is to identify all the secrets in the repository. So it is a very simple thing, and so that's the reason we have installed this the GG Shield and the other tools in the previous video, right? So we have already seen how to identify those as well, how to extract those information from the JSON file as well, right? So so once, if suppose people have not seen this post or we have not followed this activity, I suggest you to go through this post and complete this step on how to scan this particular Git repository and extract the information, right? So once you got a file like this one, since we already got this file in the previous video, we have deliberately added those tokens into the file, so that like this Git filter sorry, this GG Shield pre-commit cool directed thing, right? So we also seen the thing. So now we already had this tokens. So our entire activity, our entire ownership now is to remove all these things out of files and history as well, right? So what I'm going to do, we are going to use this pattern that is highlighted over here. So whatever values that are present over here, so whatever the unique secrets that you're going to replace, right? So you're going to create a regular expression. Let's imagine like this is the secret. This is the base HTTP secret. You want to replace this particular secret with an indicator, something like that, identifier underscore remove. If you wanted to know whether if there was a secret already present, I have already removed those things. If you wanted to hide this thing, you can change this, you can replace this entire string into this particular string. Otherwise, if you don't want to get highlight, if you don't want to show that as a highlighted thing such as removed, you can keep this as an empty one. So okay, so this thumb rule is, and the formula here is, left hand side you should place the secret, you should place the secret, and right hand side this secret token or this secret string should be replaced by what? So this thing that you have to place it in the right hand side, right? You can either use the first step or you can either use the below one. So the main difference between these two steps is, it will highlight this indicator as removed, it will not indicate anything. So what you're going to do, we are going to collect all those unique strings. So in our case, how many unique strings we have, let us go and analyze. So our goal now is to remove this base 64.1 and this base 64.2 and then this temp string as well, right? So we will do one thing. So as we discussed in this blog post, so we're going to create a file called this replacement.txt, right? So we're going to quickly go into this different places. See, this is the folder that we were working on the cleaning activity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file that is completely out of this folder. As you can see here, I'm creating a text file over here. I'm just going to provide this file name called replacements.txt. Okay, just for the reference purpose. What I'm going to do, I'm going to paste this tokens one by one. So first of all, we are going to replace this token, right? So I'm just copying it over here and going straight into this text file. I have pasted this thing, and then we go again, we'll see this is another token that we need to replace. So I'm just copying this as well. I'm going again, I'm putting enter and I'm pasting it in the next line. Okay, so let me save it on second, and then if you go again, you see it, this particular token, it is a duplicate of this token. It is an indicator that okay, this token is not only saved in this particular line, it also get saved, it also get duplicated by some other people in a different location. Let us assume in this way, right? So our entire goal is to remove this thing wherever it was present in the entire project file, right? So that's the reason we have created this duplicate line. So let us keep as it is. We don't have to duplicate this line as well. So once we did this thing, it is going to automatically remove everything out of here, right? So let us go back to this blog post, and then yeah, so as we discuss, what we are going to do, we are going to follow this pattern over here. We are going to enter this equals followed by this arrow mark, right? So let us go there and do the same activity over here. So in this first step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter this equals in the double, and then followed by arrow mark, and then followed by the string. Okay, so this what I'm going to do, so instead of following the same thing, I'm going to put a different identifier, let's say cleared, right? So this is the pattern that I'm going to do. So wherever this entire left hand token is present, it will completely get replaced by this cleared, right? So we'll see. And if you wanted to highlight this one in a different place, so let us see clear underscore one, right? So this is cleared and this is clear underscore one. So just wanted to differentiate this activity. Okay, so since we already copied and we have extracted everything and we have pasted everything over here, let me close this thing. And yeah, it's time to have some action. So the entire activity is a very simple thing. So what you're going to do, like we are going to we have to follow the simple steps, like we don't have to copy this file into the working folder, as it may accidentally committed if you don't want to do this activity, right? So in order to not do any any accidental commits or any mistake, we'll completely take this out of the repository. Okay, and then so and the next step would be going to this newly cloned repository folder and open the git patch from there. Okay, so let us go there. No, and then right click and then open the git. Oops, let me open the git patch from here. Yeah, as you can see here, it opened this command prompt. So let me go to the blog post once again and execute the below command. So this is the Git filter repo that we have installed in the first step of this video, right? So what it actually does is it is going to invoke the function replace text, and it is going to call this text files, right? So the activity is entirely driven by this text file. So wherever it presents this text file, it is going to use this regular expression, and it's going to remove this entire activity by its own. Let us first go and see this force button is nothing but like if suppose the file was in use, or suppose that we don't have this permission, it will force this activity. So let us go and copy this thing and open this git bash and paste. So before I'm hitting the enter, you have to check this whether the file location is correct or not. As you can see, this file location is correct. It is in D replacement. So now if you can see in the command, we have to rename this file from replacement to replacement, that is small letter. All right, so I'm going to do is click enter. So the moment that I do this activity, hit the enter, it is going to scan the entire repository, including the commits, including the history, and is going to run this particular replacement regular expression string one by one across every commit it was there inside the local repository. Okay, let us do this activity. Let us click enter, and we'll see how what it is doing. As you can see here, it just passed this 19 commits within a fraction of a second, and it also see it rewritten this history, and it also repacked, and everything it is done in a fraction of a second. Okay, so we completed this activity. So now it is time to see what are all the things that it actually did, right? So that is the one important thing we have to do. So we have completed the thing, but before we are pushing that to the remote folder, right? So we need to know we need to witness. You can see here, the moment that I open this folder, every file that was there, it automatically got refreshed, and you can see here this the previous tokens were not there, it was not present. All right, so this is fine. Since we witnessed these things, like whatever the token that is present here, it removed this thing. But what about the history? We wanted to make sure whether the history got changed or not, right? So in order to do the thing, I'm going to right click this thing, I'm going to go into the Git, and I'm going to check this differences, or I'm going to show the history, right? So let us click the history. As you can see here, whatever the histories that are there in the local Git repository, it are all showing. So if you can see here in the first history on the 8th February, that was the last commit that I did. You can witness this thing over here. Whatever the values that you were entered and you replaced all those things, you're not seeing these things anymore here, right? So it was completely removed and it was completely replaced with a new string. So now it is an indicator that in your all local history files, in your all local history commits, those are all entirely removed. You can also see here this clear one, that is a new identifier that you use, that also removed. You can also check the next commit. In next commit also, you can see here this clear, it is replace the previous values and the clear here, because since we had two different places, we had kept only the one string, right? So it removed in both the places as well. So we have successfully come to conclusion that it also removed the token from the file and as well as the history, right? So let us go back to the blog post. These are all the steps that we discussed over here. We need to compare, and we have compared successfully, like in both the places in and the current file and as well as the histories. We are not seeing this entire string, right? So that's all done, right? So now it is time to push the changes into the Git remote repository. So before we are pushing the this changes the Git repository, let us go there. Let us see. Let us go there and let us see whether are we seeing this file. Are we seeing these tokens now, so that you can compare it easily and before and after. Right, so I'm just going into this Git repository. I'm going into that particular file, and this is the file. So as you can see here, this file that is presently over there, it is having those tokens. But whereas in our local history, we have completely removed. Let us go back again into the the blog post and see what is the next step. So the next step would be opening the git bash from the command prompt, since we already opened this thing, and execute the commands in the sequence manner, right? So the first command that deals with pushing the tags, it is not going to push your changes. So first we are going to push if there are any tags that present in your Git repository. We are going to push those tags first of all. Even though if you are not having any tags, it is always recommended, because we would never know whether the tags were there or not, right? So it is always a better to push those tags. For this reason, if you can also omit, but I'm just going as with the old school protocol. I'm copying this entire thing, and I'm pasting this command over here. Okay, the command, it is not copy. Okay, let me go. Let me paste the correct command this time. So as you can see here, I pasted the command successfully. You just double check the project link as well. It is correct. So let me push this thing. So, and it is also asking me to enter the username for the GitHub, right? So let me enter this username and the password. I'm going to enter the password over here. Click OK. Let us go back, and as you can see here, the moment I entered the password, it successfully pushed the tags as well. So coming to this next step. So now it is time to push all these changes into the Git repository. So this is the actual commit. So this will push every file, every rewritten file into your Git repository. So we'll see this action in a live in a moment. So I'm just going to paste this over here. Let me copy it once again. Come back to this Git bash. Paste this once over here. Let me hit this enter, and this time is also again it is asking me for password, and let me paste the password. Okay, this time let me go back to this back, and you can see here it successfully compressed all these objects, and it also pushes the changes as well. So as you can see here, it just pushed the force update, so that is expected thing. So now it is time to see and time to witness whether these tokens have been replaced with our identifier or not. Let me go and refresh this page to see. Voila. So you can see here this the token were completely removed from the file and it was not present anymore, right? So we're just not going to only see this latest commit, just going to see the history. I'm going to check the previous history which I did on February 7 to see whether I'm seeing this change in that particular file or not. Okay, you can also confirm this here. It also returned this string into this clear one, right? So this is it. So now we can successfully assure and we can successfully confirm we have replaced these files from almost every presence and every traces it was there, right? So this is it. This is the video that talks about the whole idea behind what we were doing in the first video, second videos. All has to do only with this thing. So our entire job is done now. So we have completed this activity and we are good to ask the team members to clone the repository newly and they can start working on it. And we also had to remember one thing. Never ever we should do commit this token once again, because every time you do this commit it will create one a scan in the Git Guardian dashboard, and it will never be replaced, and it will also intimate to your higher officials as well. So it is a mandatory thing to make sure that the pre-commit hook is enabled, and every time if you are trying to commit this file, it is our responsibility to check by line before you are committing the file, right? So that's it, folks, and we are coming to the end of this video, and thanks. And in the next video we will see, obviously, just remove this token and seek it from a file, right? So what if you want to remove an entire file, we will see in the next video. Cheers, thanks.